Good evening, everybody. It's 6 o'clock. It's time for our monthly medicine. This is DELI, Development, Empowerment, and Leadership Initiative. This is an NGO that has a vision of world transformation, one man at a time, one community at a time. It's been a while that we've been on this journey. We started almost 15 years ago, and we've had different interventions. And one of those interventions is HeyCoach, which is an on-the-go coaching program that we started over a year ago. And for the benefit of those who are just joining us for the first time, we'd like to welcome you, and we'd like to let you know what HeyCoach is all about. Even though it may look like it, but it is not a training. It is more around sharing experience so that decisions can be intentional and you don't have to be random or guessing with your decisions. So we could leverage on other people's experiences. And as you can see, we've always been punctual. We start at 6. Our house, I will normally open like 30 minutes before the program so that we can get started on time. And if you are new here, please, we'd like to hear from you. But remember that when you are contributing, try and keep it short and simple and straight to the point. We encourage you not to do more than 2 minutes per time. And we have a community that we are building on Telegram. We will be sharing that detail as we go, in addition to the other social media handles. But we are trying to build a community on Telegram where you could ask any question on the go, and you can get help as well on the go. So we would like you to join with us. And again, as we expand, it would be nice if you have more people come to participate in how the program is run on a week-to-week basis. Thank you very much for being here today. So our focus for today is something that we started since February, where we have been focusing on wellness. And since then, it's becoming more apparent that it's a topic that is very relevant for this season. And we are glad that we actually started this series. It has been labeled all-round wellness in an unwell economy. I'm sure wherever you live, particularly in Nigeria, you don't need any dictionary to translate or interpret what we mean by an unwell economy. And to navigate that journey, we had found it convenient to break it into these different elements. We've explored the medical wellness, we've explored mental wellness, we've explored nutritional wellness, but again, based on popular demand from past programs, we've had to run a second session on mental wellness. And that has been February, March, April, May, June. And now we are in July. So this month, which is today, we are focusing on physical wellness. And we intend to top it up next month by focusing on financial wellness. All right, so this has been the map, and we've been blessed with different exciting guest speakers, facilitators for the past episodes. And I'm sure that we are in for an extremely swell and exciting time today as well. So before I bring on our guest speakers, as usual, I just like to lay the groundwork for today's topic. Today, we are talking about wellness, like we've been doing since February. And what you will find is that WHO has said that health or wellness, if you like, is not just the absence of diseases or absence of infirmity, but that wellness is a state of you being sound physically, mentally, and social. All right? So the fact that you are not bedridden, the fact that you are not in the hospital, the fact that you do not have any known medical condition does not necessarily mean that you are well. It is in pursuit of that complete wellness that made us to start this series. And I'm sure you are familiar with all these things that are buffeting us everywhere, particularly in Nigeria, where this program is being aired from. Everywhere you turn, there is just enough bad news, enough pressure, pressure on the pulse, pressure on the road. It can become unbearable. And it is with the aim of helping the professionals. This particular product is targeted at professionals, whether you are an entrepreneur or you are an employee. The target audience for this program is you. It's all about how do we help you? How do we contribute to your being the best that you can be? So the question is, in the face of the multitude of all these things that are assaulting us, how do we achieve wellness? All right. So how do we achieve wellness? Wellness, therefore, I'm going to focus on two broad things. One has to do with the habits, and the other has to do with the process. And that is why whatever you take out of this program, please let it not just be academic, because when we talk about wellness, we are saying, what habits are you practicing? Habits are powerful. We are products of habits. Look at anybody, you can break them down by just focusing on their habits. How they wake up, what they eat, the routines they run. And you will find that people who are healthy, they have healthy habits. Those who are not, they have many toxic habits. So wellness, as big, as lofty, as grand as it sounds, can be reduced to those simple principles. And those are the ones that we have been focusing on. If you have missed the past episodes, we have a YouTube channel. It is called Development, Empowerment, and Leadership Initiative. I'm sure we are getting close to 170 videos there now. Different topics have been covered over this last many years that we've been running this NGO. So go there. I'm sure you'll find something to benefit you. And I'm sure that even this series that we are running on wellness, you will benefit from the ones we've done before. We've had a medical doctor, we've had a nutritionist, we had a psychiatrist. There is a lot to learn, and today I'm sure you are going to learn a lot as well. So wellness has to do with how the kind of habits that you are practicing on a daily basis. It's about you taking control of your life. It's about being intentional, so that when you add this habit plus that habit plus that habit, it begins to translate to wellness, soundness. It will go beyond just surviving. You start to thrive. Okay? That is wellness from the perspective of habits. The other perspective is the perspective of process, meaning you then need to be aware of what drives what you do so that you can get to your desired destination in due course. So these are the things that lay the foundation for what we are trying to talk about today. And as you can see, it's about all round. There are things that are internal, which is why we spent double the time on the mental wellness, because There is a slide I'm going to show shortly. It says that the foundational wealth is wellness, and the foundational wellness is mental health. You need to know that what goes on inside you, which is why we have been speaking a lot about habits, and I'm sure our guest speaker will do the same. It's about habits, it's about routines, it's about processes, it's about what goes on between your two earlobes. You need to be aware of that. And this platform is available to support and help you whichever way you may require. So when we speak about all-round wellness, I've kind of broken into two components. You have the mind, you have the motion. Of course, the mind is clear. I found it convenient to use the word motion to describe everything that is external. What you eat, how much sleep you get, how you look after your motion, your movement, your money, all that is external. Your ability to take care of both is what leads to this all-round wellness that we are talking about. And this is the slide I was talking about. The foundational wealth is health. Just imagine somebody who acquires the whole of the nation today, but is not healthy, and is in ICU, and is under sedation, and is unconscious. All that wealth has no meaning. I'm sure the person will even give away all the wealth just to get back his health. So in your hustle, in your grind, in your pursuit, in your focus, in your ambition, in all that you're doing, if you do not look after your health, it will not be a wise equation, because ultimately, even if you get what you are looking for, the things that you have neglected may make what you have found to be less useful. You may not even be able to enjoy it. And that is what leads me to inviting our guest speaker for today. And who is our guest speaker? I am sure the pictures you've seen on the posters do not do justice to who our guest speaker is. But let me try, because some people came back and said, this is our picture. It's not saying physical health. It's not saying physical health. It's not saying physical wear. I said, don't worry. You are going to experience it. The tasting of the pudding is in the eating. And that is why we have Professor Olufunmilola Dominic. All right. She's a professor of exercise and sports science from the University of Ilorin. And why we desired and decided to go to the academic world is that I know a lot of people are interested in the fit farm. They want to exercise, they want to build muscle, they want to have flat tummy, and they are ready and always willing to get into the gym, which is fantastic. But I just thought, this being a very intellectual group, I wanted somebody who would please take us also behind the scene, the why. What happens when you exercise? What happens when you hydrate properly? What happens when you eat properly? What happens when you stay away from certain things? Because when your why is strong enough, then the will is a lot stronger. So if you want a strong will, establish a very strong why. That's why we've gone this road. And by way of introduction, like I said, she's a professor of exercise and sports science, and she has been in this bit both on the field and in the classroom for so many years, all right? She has been a basketball coach. She has been on state sports council. She has been on the Olympics. Interestingly, Olympics started yesterday. She has been on the Olympics board. She's done a lot in this space, and we are privileged and honored to have her here with us today to share our expertise that will give everybody here something to go home with today. Again, building our complete wellness layer by layer so that by the time we're done, if you have not been committed to physical wellness, you will get enough to get you committed. And if you have been committed, you will have something that reinforces your commitment in that direction. So please get onto the chat. If you're in a quiet place, unmute your mic and jam your hand together as I welcome Professor Olufunmilola Dominic. Prof, you are welcome, ma, and you have the floor. Please put your hands together for her and show her some love. Thank you very much, ma, for being here.
Welcome, ma. Thank you very much. I want to say hi to everyone for being on this program.
Pleasure to have you, ma.
Thank you very much. And you're all welcome on board for this session, which is going to be a great one, which I believe we all will enjoy. Just as I want to first of all appreciate the convener for initiating this kind of a program that is required by all. Because when we are talking about wellness, it is what every individual, family, community, the nation requires. And when we say wellness, as he has explained, we cannot live our lives without ensuring we are well. Because unless we are well, we are going to have challenges. Unless we are well, we discover that we will not be able to achieve much. Unless we are well, we discover that even in the homes, husbands will be angry with the wife. So the issue of wellness is something that is very peculiar and germane to us. Therefore, based on today's presentation, I want to thank the conveners for inviting me to be part of this great program. The title given to me that we are looking at today is my screen. I don't know why it's showing this way.
We can see it.
You can see it. I want to start from the beginning, please. Okay, let me just continue from here. Today we are talking about physical wellness in an unwell economy.
Sorry, Ma, can you do slideshow mode?
Slideshow. Yes, slideshow mode. That's what I'm trying to get to the. You are sharing, yes.
From current slide at the top.
New share. I can't find it. That's why I'm looking for it.
At the top of the screen,
on your.
At the top of your screen, you'll see from current slide. Just click on it. That should start the slideshow towards the left.
I've seen it. I've seen it. So physical wellness in an unwell economy. What this presentation will be presented along this outline. Why physical wellness in an unwell economy? We look at what is unwell in our economy, which he has actually spoken about, especially emphasizing the stressing conditions or stressors. Not only that, what is happening?
Keep going, man. Just go on.
Okay. Not only that, we still look at other variables. I don't know. I'm seeing tmak instead of my screen. Pardon? Okay. So we are also looking at how does poverty affect our physical health and wellness. We will be looking at what does wellness mean. Though he has spoken about it, but I want us to also look at it briefly. Then dimensions of wellness briefly. How will you describe your physical wellness? What are indices of physical wellness? We also look at what are the challenges towards achieving your set goals for physical wellness, what you need to change in order to achieve physical wellness. Then how will you deal with these challenges? What are other habits you need to do to ensure you achieve this? Now, slide 1, please. So after looking at this, we are now starting the presentation. Why physical wellness in an unwell economy? Please, I prefer my slide. Why physical wellness in an unwell economy? When you look at it, there is already unwellness in an unwell economy. Before we are even talking of unwell economy, the transition from traditional activity lifestyle has already created unwellness in the society. Civilization has created unwellness in the society. So by the time we think we have buoyant economy, we neglected what should not be neglected. Like the kind of occupation we were doing traditionally, the type of plays we usually engage in. Some of us who were in the village during those good old days, or even those who went to school in the 70s, in the 80s, you could recall that when we are talking about school plays, when we talk about fire on the mountain, run, 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 run. If you ask your children, many of them may not know this. So from the traditional way of play, traditional ways of doing our job like hunting, farming, walking, trekking long distances, trekking to schools, most of these things are no longer there. Even most of the schools during those good old days, they have field of play, environment that are conducive for children to run around, for us to do multiple things, evening games. They are all lost due to white-collar jobs, acculturation, affluent life cycle. We want to eat the white food. We want to go to Mr. Biggs. Because of that, we no longer do our traditional things. Our style of living has changed. Not only that, movement from rural settlements. Nobody wants to live in the village. We all want to come to the urban settlement. Because of that, we start living a stressful life. Everything is stressful. To dress is stressful because you want to please somebody. Am I dressing well? To go to bank is stressful. You can get to the ATM and you won't be able to access money, and you need money. So driving on the street is stressful. You discover that we are living a stressful life throughout. Going to the market to buy things becomes stressful because of the cost of living. And because of change of lifestyle, and we have become affluent, we no longer eat the simple food that people usually eat, getting organic vegetable, and we just add iru. I want to use iru. We add it to it, and you discover that all those things are no longer there. In those good old days, you go to the farm, you boil, they work on the farm, you eat in the farm. But nobody wants to be a farmer. We all want to be civil servants, leading us living sedentary lifestyle. Not only that, the unwellness we are experiencing, even in a well economy, and unwell economy has been there all the time. Security issues, urbanization, built environment does not allow us to walk on the streets. People can no longer trek long distance. You are checking your back. You are checking whether the environment is safe. This keeps us indoor, leading us not to be able to move enough, affecting all other components of wellness. Not only that, use of passive transport rather than active transport. What are passive transport? Car. We like driving. We like using aeroplane instead of using bicycle and trekking. Most of these things are no longer there. Not only that, living sedentary lifestyle due to use of technological devices for household chores, labor devices. For example, formerly, when we want to eat pounded yam, you will pound the yam. Now we have pando machine. When you want to wash your clothes, you use your hand, which promotes flexibility, joint strength. That is no longer obtainable. Before, even if you have a car, the father will wash it. Now, nothing like that. Now we use our phone for all means of work, communication. We use the phone. Formerly, we can trek to the next place to go and visit a friend. The next 10 minutes we can trek. But now all those things are lost. Many of the times when we are reading, formerly we go and get textbooks in the library. They are now on the phones, whereby you can sit with your phone for 6 hours, which has hindered our physical wellness. We are no longer active. Technological revolution has also added to it, especially use of ICT and multimedia devices, which make us to see it for a long time. And another factor that we should realize is moving away from communal living to individualism, lone ranger. Do you know you have a neighbor? You wouldn't even know the neighbor you are talking to. You wouldn't even know your neighbor. Hardly we connect unless when there is landlord meetings. That's when many households communicate together. So all these have added to physical wellness. When the economic was well, people can pay to go and get people to go and exercise. When economic was well, people can have time to go and recreate. When the economic was well, people's salaries were enough. They don't need extra job. But because of unwell economy, there is no time even to engage in recreational activities. Next slide, please. It's not moving here. Can you hear me? What is unwell in our economy? When you look at it, more than 87 people in Nigeria, Africa's most populous country, live below the poverty line. And you will ask me, what is the poverty line? The poverty line is that right now, the annual income of individual is less than 500 naira based on inflation. So when you look at it with the labor fighting that there should be increase in salary, the government says 70,000. What is that's the price of a bag of rice. So, and people's poverty line is about 375 or 85 to be specific. How do they survive? So you can see that the economy is unwell. High cost of living, inflation, unemployment, insecurity, fear of the unknown, poor road network pathways, emphasis on certificate rather than, skills acquisition, love for money, affluence, poor mental attitude, and dependence on ICT facilities have resulted in an unwell economy, whereby people have become so stressed that they don't have time to take care of their body. Next slide, please. How does poverty affect our physical and health and wellness? When you look at it, people living in poverty are more prone to mental and physical health issues. And it has been shown that 19.4 reports regular anxiety. You can see, why wouldn't there be anxiety? When you go to the market today, you buy something. By the time you go, you find different price. And just as the mental health has been treated, those two go together. When you have mental situation, the only way you can live it is when you have better physical health. And when there is anxiety, it could lead to depression, it could lead to several diseases, traumatic disorders, and this has led to increase in chronic diseases. Not only when we talk about chronic diseases, we are talking about cancer, we are talking about high blood pressure, we are talking about cardiac arrest. Research indicates that living in poverty increases risk for chronic diseases, including heart disease, hypertension, and stroke. And if you check the blood pressure of Nigerians today, you discover that majority of Nigerians have high blood pressure. Across the lifespan, residents of impoverished communities are at increased risk for mental illness. Not only that, high mortality rates. When we say high mortality rates, that's premature death and lower life expectancy. Now in Nigeria, the lower life expectancy is just about 58 to 60 years, which means hardly will you find somebody getting to 70 years. If somebody gets to 70 years, it's a privilege. It's seriously a privilege. So these are some of the challenges how poverty affects. And if you can see that there is right now poverty, and the only way we can handle it is when we are strong, when we are fit, when we have well-being that is sound. That is when we can say we can handle poverty level. And not only that, when you look at it right now, children are most affected who experience this poverty line. They can no longer take milk as they should take. They can no longer eat egg as they should eat. They don't even have enough play that will help them. You discover in the home, children are given, even in the home of the affluence, you see the children with laptop, which have been affecting the health of even these children. That's why we hear about suicides, children trying to commit suicide, children who are not strong enough. When they fail exams, they want to kill themselves because they are not physically strong. And you know, when we are talking about being physically strong or possessing physical wellness, it means their body image, they have positive they have positive perception about their body image. They have positive perception about their health. They have positive perception in their reasoning. And when they are positive, they cannot think of suicide. They cannot think of drugs. They will be agile. They will be able to relate well. They will be able to participate in active movement because movement is life and life is movement. As we go on, now we want to ask ourselves, what does wellness then mean? What I want us to know is that wellness is multidimensional and it is a process. A process which means there are stages, there are things that people need to do about it. And when we say it is multidimensional, the convener has explained, it has different dimensions to it. And it has a continuum. You can see on my screen, at the red side, we have premature death. At the other side, we have high level of wellness. And at the treatment paradigm, when we don't know what to do, when we see some signs, we don't take action, when some symptoms appear, we don't go for treatment, then it could lead us having some disabilities. And you know, stroke can come in. Even blindness can come in. Paralysis can come in. Musculoskeletal problems can come in. Arthritis is a major one that can lead to people doing operation whereby they will be on the wheelchair. So these are some of the challenges when wellness continuum on the left side is not taken care of, which means if we must be well, we must take stewardship of our health, not only for ourselves, so that we don't become ill and create problems for people. For those who care about us, we need to take responsibility. And not only that, as we take care of ourselves, we must take care of others. So therefore, when we are talking about wellness paradigm, we are looking at the wellness side, what we need to do. The first thing is that wellness requires our awareness, our attention, and our efforts. Then the next thing is, what are components of wellness? Components of wellness, as we mentioned the other time. The components of wellness include mental wellness, which has been discussed on this platform, social wellness. We have about 8 of these components of this wellness, 8 of them. We have environmental wellness, when we are talking about good health by occupying pleasant, stimulating environments where there is no pollution. When there is pollution, which may affect our immunity, it may affect the air we breathe in, which means we need to take care of the air around us. Not only that, we have emotional wellness, whereby we need to cope with situation effectively. And fitness, physical wellness has implication or has influence on all these dimensions. Just like the financial wellness, which will be spoken about next, it is very essential. If you are satisfied with your intake, you will be, it's a major dimension to your wellness. And not only that, your relationship, developing a sense of connection with others. Your spiritual connectedness also is important. You must live with purpose in life. Your occupational wellness, are you satisfied with your job? And your intellectual wellness. And the one we are discussing today, which is the physical wellness. When we are talking about the physical wellness, how would you describe your physical wellness? Please, I want you to type in something, but when we are talking about physical wellness, you need to think about your awareness. This is how I want to really define physical wellness. And when we say physical wellness, it's the same thing with when we are talking about wellness. It consists of you recognizing the need for your physical activity. I must move. My muscles must move. My internal organs must move. My heart must move. My joints must move. You need to be conscious of that. And how do you get this move? Your domestic activity at home, your occupational activity, your religious activity. Be aware of your body wellness. That's good. I want more responses. Then your healthy food that you eat that will promote your body, your joints, your sleep, as well as preventing illnesses and injuries. This all amounts you're able to say, I am aware of my physical wellness. If you don't have idea of this, it means you are ignorant, which may lead to the red part of the continuum, being disabled, premature death. And the next thing you need to know about this is that it's not only being aware of this, you must also give it attention. It is very essential you give it attention. There is a difference between recognizing, knowing, but until you give attention. And how do you give it attention? Is by making right choices, finding out about it, educating your mind. Oh, this is my body. I want to enjoy my body. I want to enjoy my work. What will be the contribution of my body in my work? What should I feed my body with so that my joints will work better, so that my brain will have enough cells to work, so that my blood can carry better oxygen? What will I eat? And that's where we start thinking of balanced diet, whereby we think on how to promote or improve our physical health and well-being. And the next thing is your resilient effort. Do you make effort? Because we are asking, how will you describe your physical wellness? How will you describe it? What are your own efforts? Do you know what your body needs? These are questions I would have loved you to be answering. Then what are your efforts? Many of us know a lot about exercise. We can even teach others. But we discover that many of us don't adhere to it. And that's why we are talking of your resilient efforts, by taking actions, using different strategies to develop habits and behaviors in order to promote your total well-being. Being accountable for taking care of oneself through several actions and strategies for enjoying good health and staying away from diseases is when you can say, I'm physically well. That's when you can say you are physically well. You cannot say you are physically well when you lack awareness, when you are not intentional, when you don't give it attention, when you don't make effort, consistent effort, which goes with the SDG goal. You cannot say you are aware. So now, as you are listening to me, think about yourself. Are you aware? How will you describe your physical wellness? Now, as we go on, what are the indices of physical wellness? PW referred to in physical wellness. Number one is health and balanced diet, engaging in regular physical activity, getting enough sleep, keeping your body weight in check, staying hydrated, avoiding tobacco and alcohol, regular medical checkup. Before you can assess your physical wellness, these are the basic things you must consider. What does my diet look like? Is my diet healthy? What I eat, do they make me healthy? Do I engage in regular physical activity and exercise? keeping your body weight. Is my weight normal? Am I getting overweight? You know, I told us about why we are unwell. I mentioned sedentary lifestyle. The job we are doing most of the time are sedentary, working in the office, sitting for long hours. And researchers have shown that those who sit for 6 hours or more are likely to reduce 10 years out of their age, which means they're likely to die prematurely. And when we say sedentariness, all we are saying is low level of physical fitness. So there is a need to always check our weight. If we have these indices, it means we are well. Staying hydrated means taking enough water. All the time we are taking water regularly. At least each day we should be able to take 3 to 5 liters of water. This helps our kidney, flushes our system, help the blood flow, the blood viscosity. When we take enough water, then it drains the system of toxics that should not be there. It neutralizes some toxicity in our system when we take enough water. And even it helps gases to be eliminated when we take enough water. So staying hydrated is very good. And also it reduces stress. It reduces stress. Then if we should not even go near alcohol, because when we take alcohol, it goes directly into the system. So before you can say you have physical wellness, it's not only taking physical activity. It's not only eating balanced diet, because your physical activity will burn your food. If you eat and you don't burn it, that is why they are multidimensional. Each of the dimensions of wellness are multidimensional. If you do physical activity, you don't eat well, it will harm your system. If you do physical activity, you don't sleep well, it will affect you, because physical activity will induce sleep. Physical activity will aid your digestion, and it will build your muscle mass, reducing your body fat. Physical activity will keep your body weight in check. So they are all interdependent. And when you don't take alcohol, it does not affect your kidney. It does not affect your liver cirrhosis, because alcohol goes directly into the stomach, which could lead to ulcer, which could also lead to cancer, which could also lead to liver cirrhosis. So until you are free and you are watching these indices, that's when you can say, I'm aware, but you should not remain at the level of your awareness. That's when you should be able to say, I'm taking action and I'm making effort. Then when you are ill, you should go for a checkup. You don't do personal checkup. So these are the indices. After knowing these indices, what should be your goal for your physical wellness? Oh, I am aware. I've recognized what I should be doing. I've recognized before I can say I have physical health, because I can say I have physical well-being, before I can say I am well, I must eat well, I must move my body, I must do physical exercise, I must watch my weight, I must take good water, I must not take tobacco or alcohol. I should avoid it. If I'm taking it, I should be able to stop so that I enjoy my health. And not only that, when I discover some signs and symptoms of illness, I should go to the hospital. I should not treat myself. Then, if I'm aware, what are the things I should do? First of all, you need to get understanding on how and why your body works. Many of us don't even understand as a gender role. You are a man. What are your gender roles? How should your body be? Your sexual, your reproductive system as a man, how should it work? As a woman, how should your body be? Until you are aware of and have understanding of how your body works, it doesn't have to be a medical doctor telling you that. As elites, we should know. We should know how our joints should be, how our back should be. It's not until we are ill or we are having one disability that we start saying, what is happening to me? We must gain this understanding, and we should set a goal for that. And 2, we should set a goal for feeling comfortable with our physical appearance. Do I have pot belly? Then I should work on it with sit-ups, Do I have bended shoulder? I should work on it. Do I have low back pain? Our physical appearance is very necessary. Am I slim? Am I too fat? Until you feel comfortable, you are not physically well. So there should be a goal. Then you should be able to make informed choices about your body and sexuality. That should be your goal. Then you should be able to feel competent at physical activities. It could be in your place of work, your occupational physical activity, domestic physical activity, place. Domestic means washing the car, sweeping the house, painting the house, doing household chores. Everyone should be involved. In many homes, people are not physically well because house girls, house help are the one doing it. Many children are not well in many homes because parents get house help and they just put food on the table, making the children to be diseased. Research has shown in Nigeria that many school children are overweight and are obese. And the implication is that it may lead to them having chronic diseases at earlier age, which may lead to cardiovascular issues and maybe premature death. So there is a need to set goals to ensure that we feel competent at doing physical activities, and we should encourage plays in the home. Not only that, we should set a goal of developing well-balanced diets and healthy eating habits, not eating between meals. And I know we are talking about unwell economy now, whereby fruits are costly, rice is costly, every food is costly. It's what you get, you eat. But that does not mean we can still not prepare simple diets that are healthy for us to take. We can take gari or eba and just make okra concoction, add crayfish to it, add small pepper, it becomes balanced. And we can just get small watermelon and we share it in the family. 2 people can share it. That's a balanced diet. Then your goal should be to become a responsible drinker or non-drinker. Your goal should be to be aware of how a lack of sleep, stress, and non-activity affects your body. Your goal should be becoming aware of how food, beverages, drugs, chemicals, additives, and caffeine affects your body. You must know why. You shouldn't just take them. How do they affect my body? For example, when I take Coke, when I take Fanta, when I take some drugs, these chemicals affect my kidney. When I take additives, some of them are cancer-producing things. When I take caffeine, they don't allow me to sleep. What is the effect on my blood? These are things you must set the goal to learn about this. That's the area of education. Then you must also develop and cultivate leisure activities. What are leisure activities? Activities you do outside work. Do you know socializing is a leisure activity? Visiting friends? Do you know playing games, playing draft, singing, dancing? They are leisure activities. But they are things you can get in. Then seeking medical care should be one of your goals. Anytime there is illness, you don't treat it yourself. Anytime there is injury, you don't treat it yourself. And you should also adapt preventive care. These are all the goals you need to set, and you must be educated about them. You must seek knowledge about them. It is very, very important. Very, very important. Now the question is, what are the effects of unwell economy on physical wellness? Please, we take stress. I want you to type in, what are the stressors? Type in, what are the stressors? When we say stress, what do you think gives you stress in this our current economy, where people are thinking of going on maybe traffic is a major one. When you want to get to a place, maybe 8 o'clock and there is traffic. Maybe you are going even for interview and you discover there is traffic. Yes, bad governance gives stress. When you don't even know what will happen tomorrow, you cannot even say this is the government to trust. Like the challenges we have, too much workload, whereby we don't even have time for ourselves, no time for recreation, high cost of living, that's very good. high cost of living. We have several of them. What about going to bank to collect money? And they will tell you there is no network. You can imagine getting to the bank and no network. You need an emergency money to send to your children, to send to your parents, or they send you money. Relationship stress. Who to trust? Who can you trust? Who can you depend on? Right now, where we have friends betraying friends, where friends arrange for kidnapping. Yes, that's for those who have money in the bank. Those who don't have money don't need to go to the bank. I agree with you, because there is nothing to keep in bank. But do you know somebody could send money to you in bank, and you are expecting the alert to come in, and they tell you, oh, sorry, no network to pay you. There are several others. Your children going to school. Workload, yes, somebody has mentioned workload. At times as parents, your children going to school, and you are thinking as they are resuming, you are paying 50,000, and they told you the school fees has increased. What do? You are thinking the first son book will be used by the younger one, and they say they've changed the book. So there are so many stressors, so many. Even in the lights in core, electricity is a stressor. Water is a stressor, where some people have to go and look for where there is water to get water to drink. Buying Sachi water is a stressor. So there are so many. And this brings about mental disorders, anxiety, depression, traumatic disorder in the homes. Do you know inability of the husband to give the wife money is a stressor? When Madam asks for
inability of the husband to make money, go, that's where the stress is starting.
The treasure is. It's a serious one. At times when Madam asks Oga, and Oga says, where Madam is the breadwinner in the home. All this leads to mental disorder. Yes, and so it brings about fear of the unknown. You don't know what can happen. A student graduating from the university is not sure of job. So, which leads to more stress, which could lead to disease, mental disorders, restlessness, and several others. Poor electricity and the high bills that has been brought, which affects our physical wellness. They lead to mental fatigue, mental stress disorders. They affect our heart because they lead to secretion of negative hormones in the system. Instead of positive hormones, negative are secreted, which affects the heart, affect the system, acidity, which leads to problems with our system. Then costly transportation due to pump price. Nobody is sure of tomorrow's pump price. Nobody is sure of means of transportation. Now cost of transportation. To go and visit your neighbor is difficult. If your parent is living somewhere in Lagos, to go there once a year is becoming, maybe before you go twice a year, now you may change it to once in a year. I could recall in those good days, I go to a village almost every month. Now I think once in 6 months because of the cost. Now, high cost of food items. These are all the unwell things affecting our physical wellness. What of hunger and poor diets? How many of us eat 3 times a day? I just want some responses that you eat 3 times a day.
I want that. Read them.
How many? Okay, what of 2 times a day and you accompany it with fruits?
I want that. Let's see them. Go back to their house and join them to be eating.
We can see that it's affecting our health, our physical well-being. And this leads to poor sleep. Poor sleep. Many a times we want to find some other jobs that we can add to our regular jobs. Doing 2 jobs, doing 3 jobs part-time. Like I go for home physical therapy. Apart from the stress of university job, which is having its own toll on my system. Then low work, and this leads to low work output. You discover that because of this stressors and other challenges, our work output is low. Not only in the home, everywhere. We are now striving to do more. The workload is becoming higher. Then other effect is that we have musculoskeletal pains, joint pains, stiffness of the neck due to use of phones, systems all the time. We have low back pain. We have joint pains. Our eyes are experiencing stresses. And not only that, we experience illnesses. We say, I have fever due to stress. At times you hear typhoid, and doctor will be telling you that you have malaria and typhoid and you need to rest. If you don't rest, the typhoid will not disappear. And when you have it and we are saying we should go to the hospital, you discover the high cost of medical bills. And because of the high cost of medical bills, we need to watch out for our physical wellness. Can you add more to this point? What are the effects of unwell economy on our physical fitness? So we are looking at this unwell economy. What are the other effects you experience? What are other effects? Can you see what affects the economy aspects that you think is affecting your physical wellness? So let's go on, if none. Now the question is, what are the challenges you have? You know, we have spoken about goals and we have looked at the unwell that affects our physical wellness. What are the challenges to achieving your set goals for physical wellness? You know, tmak has explained that our attitude and behavior. He spoke a lot about habits. The only challenge you have is your behavior. And why? If you are lazy, if you are ignorant of the importance of physical wellness on your survival, if you don't set realistic goals for yourself, is your behavior. And that your behavior is determined by your self-regulation. What do you mean by self-regulation? It's the ability of you to direct your behavior and control your impulses to eat, being eaten. Your impulses to be glued to your phone for hours, whereby without moving, your impulses not to have time, set time you sleep. Many of us in academics, we don't sleep. Many of us who are church people, we don't sleep. We say night vigil and we won't sleep in the afternoon. These are habits that we need to regulate. At times, we don't have plan. We don't plan our days. We just do things haphazardly. So our behavior is the major challenge. It's not the activity itself. Until we are able to regulate our behavior, regulate our lifestyle, there is no way we will have sound physical wellness. And until we have self-regulation and have certain standards that we know we should meet. For example, Sustainable World Health Organization dealing with Sustainable Development Goal of 3.4, which says that to reduce chronic diseases in 2030 by 20%. How? To reduce high blood pressure, cardiac problems, heart problems, overweight problems, to reduce the musculoskeletal problems, cancers, diabetes. There is a need for us to exercise at least 150 minutes, 70 to 150 minutes, moderate to vigorous exercise intensity, 5 times a week, or 3 to 5 times a week. And we must add strength programs, developing strength, carrying weights, doing strength activities 2 times a week. We must do stretching activity every week. We must involve in aerobics, dance aerobics, long walking, brisk walking. We must, church activities can help us, dancing, religious activities, domestic activities, we can do some of them. Activities we enjoy. Until you are disciplined to achieve these goals, you cannot possess physical wellness and you cannot say you have good behavior. until you develop these habits, which turn to behavior, you cannot say you are well. It's not possible. So when we say self-regulation, is you being disciplined. When you are disciplined, when you have self-control, that's when you can say you have positive behavior. Then developing good habits. Developing good habits. This is my screen. You want me? It's very essential. Developing good habits is very essential. So what do you need to do to change? You need to change your poor physical habits and behavior, your poor self-regulation and habits. You need to change them. It is very essential you change them. Not only that, you need to look at your sedentary lifestyle, because your poor self-regulatory tendencies and habits will be demonstrated through your sedentary living. Please, I want your response. How many hours daily in the last 1 week can you say you spend on your phone, your system, your computer games, watching videos or films, reading novels? How many hours can you say you spend? I want our responses. The average hours you spend daily. I want our responses. Because sedentary living means activities you do of low physical activity. Watching films, sitting for hours to lecture. It is expected that when you sit for 30 to 45 minutes, more than 5 hours, hey, it's plenty. You need to reduce it. Maybe 6 hours. We are all sedentary, which is risky for our life. Very risky for our lives. This could lead to overweight. Or even if you are not fat, you will have weak muscles, musculoskeletal issues. These are some of the habits. Your poor diet, skipping meals needs to change if you must have good body, fitness. Self-medication, you need to change it. Most of the time you go over the counter. My pharmacist is very good, he can treat me. Let's go for medical checkup. We don't drink enough water. Anywhere you go, you can go with a bottle of water, sipping your water. You must not be thirsty before taking water. Then low sleep. Your sleep at least 7 to 8 hours minimum. You must have consistent sleep time and wake up time. Then your ice cream time, you must change it. Use of passive transport, always using car. You should be able to trek for 10-15 minutes every day. Use bicycle, motorcycle rather than cars if you are a car owner. Short distances of 20 minutes, 10 minutes down, 10 minutes back. You can take advantage. You must change your long hours of sitting. Very, very important. Let's go. Now the question is, how will you deal with these poor physical wellness habits? The first thing you need is you must be determined. You must be resilient. Even if you fail, you start all over again. And you must have the right mindset. You can break nearly any habit. There is no habits you cannot break. And therefore, you must develop good physical wellness habits. How? You need to eat balanced diets. You will say food is costly, but the little you can do, all you need to do is, if you are talking of protein, your beans is protein. We have vegetables that are protein. Fish is protein. Your crayfish is protein. These small fish, they are very tiny. You can buy a measure. It's protein. You don't need to buy big fish. Add them to whatever you are preparing. They will give you your protein. You don't need to eat big meat. You don't need big fishes. Because when you look at Kote now, Kote is over 3,000. The same thing with other fishes, except When you think of this simple fish, when you want to buy tilapia, it's costly. So you can look at these simple things to provide you with your protein. Your fruits, you can take simple. It's not compulsory. If you are buying the big one before, buy small ones that you can share. Buy a bunch of banana. You just need one to add to your meal to make it balanced. You don't need too much oil to add. You don't need so many eggs. Your children need egg. You need egg. Add to it. So when you are eating your eba, add St. Leaf to your okra. It provides even things that will sanitize your system. They are detoxifiers. Ginger is a detoxifier. You add it to your meal. Simple leaves. If you have a backyard, a yard where you can plant this leaf, you can plant them. So eating balanced diet is not so difficult. We just cut our coat according to our clothes. Then stay hydrated. It's not taking drinks. In well society, when the economy was well, you take drinks, you take wine. Water is better, is healthy. Take plenty of water. If you say bottled water, leave bottled water. If you are the one that is germophobic, boil your water from the tap. But I believe if you don't even boil it, you take it. If your system gets you to it, you don't raise your immunity too high, you can't have issue. Stay hydrated. Watch your weight. Watch what you eat. Now that we have Unwell economy, you don't need to eat junks. You don't need to go to Mr. Big. Save that money and prepare food in your house and eat. Then, the key to this physical wellness is that if you eat food, you don't burn it, your physical wellness can never be balanced. Even other dimensions of wellness cannot be balanced. And that is engaging in physical activity. And how do you engage in physical activity? You start from your home. If you are a religious person, religious activity in the home can help you. They move the joints, they move the bones. As a Muslim who is doing a salat, moving the back helps flexibility of the back. The arm standing up is a rhythmic exercise. If you're a Christian, when you are clapping your hands, you are dancing, they are very good exercise. You know, clapping is very good. It activates the nerves and it has some pressure points that affect the whole body. It innervates the whole body and helps the whole system when you clap your body, you clap your hands. When you dance, it helps and promote the efficiency of your heart and respiratory system. So it is very essential. Your domestic work, don't use ourselves. Most of us, we cannot wash our clothes. Wash your clothes yourself. I'm not saying we should not use these machines, but we should involve in things that will cause us to move because movement is life. Life is movement. Fathers should wash their cars. They are part of exercise. The grasses in your compound, you should hold them yourself at times. They are physical activities. And there is difference between physical activity and exercise. You should recreate, find means of recreating. Let your children play. When your children are jumping on the chairs, don't ask them not to jump. They are very good for them. They build their bones, those start jumping, build their muscles. The only thing is you check so that they don't get injuries. And when we talk of exercise, exercise is a physical activity, but physical activity is not exercise. Physical activity are all vigorous bodily movements that we do, whereas exercise are planned. And why we need to get involved in exercise are the causes of the unwell physical fitness in the society. Sedentary lifestyle, living traditional ways of life, no more doing household chores, no more long-distance trekking, doing white-collar jobs that hinders us from movement. It means all of us require exercise to meet up our physical activity, which must be 3 to 5 times a week, at least 30 to 45 minutes. And it must include walking or jogging, stretching, weight exercises, jump movement, things that will move our heart and raise our heart rate. Then we must take exercise break at work rather than coffee and junks. When we are at work or anywhere we are, we need exercise break. After sitting for 1 hour, we should get up and walk around. In a good workplace, there should be a place people can go to relax. So if there is none, create it for yourself. And the next one concerns physical activities. That you need to move more, because movement is life and life is movement. And you must set a goal of taking at least 1,000 steps per day. And that is where you can say you have physical awareness. And not only that, you must meet the requirements of 70 minutes vigorous exercises, or 150 minutes vigorous exercises, just minimal exercise. If you must be highly well, you need to increase it to prevent diseases. This is very, very essential. Next slide, please. So as we are talking about how you deal with it, I want to ask you what you need to do. What are other habit changes for your physical well-being? Go offline. If you sit with your phone, what other changes? Change these habits. If you are spending 1 hour with your phone, drop it, go offline. Learn something new to keep you busy and acquire new skills to reduce your poverty consequences. Avoid smoking. Train your muscles, strengthening and stretching exercise. Choose nature by exposing yourself to outdoor activities, even to enjoy vitamin D. Avoid binge watching, glued to TV and e-games. Avoid binge eating. What are the benefits now of changing your poor physical wellness habits? Number one, evidence-based benefits. There are so many evidence-based. It reduces your high blood pressure. It gives you sound sleep. It aids digestion. It promotes your heart health. It decreases your heart rate. It gives you good sleep. Several of them. It prevents diabetes. It prevents cardiovascular diseases like stroke, heart attack, and several others. Being physically active boosts your immune system and promotes your health and total well-being. It decreases your risk of developing type 2 diabetes about 30 to 40% if you have it in your generation. It can delay the onset. Then it will also reduce range of medical conditions. And not only that, sport and physical activity can help in preventing your ill health, especially most of the time with these stresses, we have joint pains. But when you do a walk, when you trek for some time, when you do aerobics, you discover that your body will come back to shape. Not only that, it will improve your quality of sleep when you change these habits. Not only that, it will give you energy, increase your energy level and divert the use of your aggressive tendencies. Some people are very aggressive. You become aggressive due to stressors. But when you exercise, you are relieved, you are relaxed. Not only that, it's also effective in management of pain, management of disease condition. It will improve your quality of life, even when you are aging. It reduces your chronological age or biological age, your biological age. It also decreases your healthy behavior. And you discover if you're a smoker before, you can stop it. If you take cola nuts, you can stop it. Then it will reduce the chances of you dying prematurely. So these are some of the benefits of exercise. And there are other, how can you achieve this good physical wellness? The first thing I will tell you is that make every effort to change. If you don't make effort, maybe you start exercise today because you had pain in the last one, you stop. You cannot be physically well because your physical activity affects all other dimensions of wellness, your mental wellness. You know, most of the time when you are feeling pain, you have low work outputs. When you are feeling pain, you discover that you cannot sleep well. When you are feeling pain, you discover that people around you cannot enjoy it. Everybody becomes concerned. So you must put effort. Change only becomes achievable if you choose strategies that enhance your chances for success. You should study yourself. You should know yourself. You should know what is good for you. Oh, I'm the type that I go to work 7:30 and somebody is exercising 7:30 and 6 o'clock. you will know, you should know that if I have to leave home 6:30 to be at work 7:30, I cannot exercise by 6:30. You choose the time that is convenient for you. Is it in the evening? Can I do it at place of work? Can I do it in my place of work? Not only that, your diet. You should study your digestive system. How does it work? So you choose strategies that will enhance your success. Is it at home that I can exercise? Do I need to join an exercise group or a gym? Or I can hold in the house? You must choose your own strategy. It is individual. Then you need to set a motto. How? You check your weight after prehistory, because you need to check your history before you start exercise. In my family, do we have diabetes? In my family, do my ancestors have high blood pressure? Do they experience stroke? What is the timeline concerning age? You have to check it. When you check it, then you can now say, okay, I want to set a goal. I don't want to have diabetes. My mother had it, I can't have it. Which means you need to watch your weight, which means you need to watch your diet, which means you need to involve in exercise. So you must set a motto for yourself. You have a goal for yourself. Because it has been found, according to Ruby 2015, that most successful habits change requires the coordination of multiple strategies to establish a single new behavior. So you need to monitor what you are doing also. You need to monitor. And not only that, monitoring, schedule your activities, invest in systems that you can account for, abstain from negative habits, strengthen your positive habits, decrease your conveniences that are not profitable, and increase the inconveniences. Then you begin with habits that will strengthen your self-control. These are how you can achieve good physical wellness. So new habits on average take 66 days to be formed, according to Liley 2010. So if you want to start exercise, you don't do it a month and stop. You must continue. You don't stop. And in conclusion, I just want to say your physical awareness is essential for handling unwell economy. And I want you to know that poor physical awareness adds to the burden of unwell economy. Therefore, good physical awareness will give you strength for challenging effects of unwell economy so that you can withstand the stress and strains. Then it also has positive effects on all other awareness dimensions. Physical awareness is the only component that moves the body to action and behavior formation. All others are mental, they are internal. And physical awareness is preventive, is a preventive medicine. Physical awareness is therapeutic medicine. Physical awareness is non-pharmacological medicine that is cost-effective. Physical awareness provides opportunities for acquiring skills and making extra money. It is when you are well, you can do extra work. Physical awareness promotes all-round mental, social, and spiritual wellness. It is effective for your visionary measures from burden of emotional and psychological trauma. It's intentionally, strategically, and purposefully planned to change for healthy life choices and healthy living to strive and succeed in this unwell economy, because it determines your fitness, which is your ability. It determines your wellness, which is your satisfaction and fulfillment in life. It determines your health, which is the product of your life, and wellness, which is your positive lifestyle choices and living positively with goals that can conquer and overcome the effects of unwell economy. Today, determine to start and improve your physical wellness status. Thank you very much.
Please let's put our hands together for Prof. If you are in a place that is not noisy, please unmute your mic and clap. If you can talk, please tell her thank you. And if you can't, go to the chat box and jam your hands together there. Let's show her some love.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Ma. We appreciate the presentation,
You're
Ma.
welcome.
Thank you so much,
very
madam.
much.
Thank you,
welcome.
Prof.
Very
God
educative.
bless you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you very, very much. It's one of the biggest benefits of physical activity is actually that beyond the effect on the body is the effect of the mind. It leads your mood, it gives you a lot of mental energy, it releases many positive hormones into your system. And one thing they will always say about physical activity is you don't need the only thing you need for physical activity is your body. So there is no excuse of there is no gym, there is no dumbbell. Once your body is there and you are ready to exercise, there is enough to do, to stretch, sit up, push ups, skips, walk, different things you can do that can. And when you form that habit, there is a way there's a way your mind comes alive once you are done with it. Okay, it just, for me, that's my experience. Some people think that physical exercise is about losing weight.
Not at
No,
all.
it is not about losing weight. It's about being
not at all.
healthy. It's about being fit. It's about being healthy. So for somebody like me, I've never had a weight problem, but I enjoy the benefit. I'm lazy about exercise. It's something I wish I don't have to do, but because I see the benefit, it's just like on an everyday basis, 30, 45 minutes, you sweat it out, and then you enter the shower. It's like, boom, everything just comes alive.
Many people even think that when you are slim, you don't need to exercise. They forget that when you are slim, all that happens is that you don't have excess body fat, but your muscles are weak.
Exactly.
And fat store around them and reduces the muscle fibers. So physiologically, what exercise does is that it increases your cells, billions of cells. It increases the muscles that are participating in the movement. And this can be seen in your bicep when you try to raise your arm like this. You see some people's bicep will not be strong, though. But when you touch yours, if you are somebody who exercises, it will be toughened, which shows that you have larger muscle mass. And when you have larger muscle mass, you have better innervation of your muscles. And when you have better, you have decreased heart rate, which means you take in more oxygen and other things are pumped into your working muscles. So exercise is not for maybe a matter of fact. Some people are slim, but their hearts are weak. So that's why I say it strengthens the heart. It brings good hormones like endorphin hormones. When that we have the endorphins that reduces pain when they are secreted. When you have pain, quickly your central nervous system will respond, and your central nervous system will work better. Your sympathetic system will work better. So exercise, that's why I said it has effect on all other dimensions of wellness. It is only the body that responds to all other dimensions. So if the body has issue, there is struggle, and only movement is life. And life is movement. Move less, be sick. Move more, be healthy.
Be well.
Be well. So that's why exercise is preventive medicine. You don't need drug. When you have joint pain, go and exercise. So that's all I just wanted to add.
Very well said. Somebody said that our body is an oxygen processing machine.
Yes.
What exercise does is it continually fine-tunes that engine to take in more and process it more and process it better. And the better we're able to process the oxygen, the healthier we are. Mentally, physically, emotionally, all around. So like I said, all you need is your body. You can do it in your room. Your staircase can be your device. A small stool can be your device. The only thing you need is your body. So there's no reason. And what I'm building up to is everybody on this call. Are you willing to commit? For some people, it's in the morning that works for them. For some, it's in the evening. It really matters very little when. The more important thing is the regularity.
Yes.
And you don't have to be too bothered about whether you are able to do only 20 minutes when you are starting. Just start. As your body increases capacity, you find out that you were struggling to do 5 push-ups, if you keep at it, you gain strength, you begin to do 7, you begin to do 10. If all you are doing is keeping, maybe you can only do 20 and you are panting. If you keep at it over time, you find yourself doing 30, doing 50, doing 100, doing 150. So the message is, are you willing to start something tomorrow? Tomorrow, even this evening, if you can. Because if you are not doing that, then this session has not really achieved its objective. So can you go to the chat? And if you are willing to get started, please say yes. Just put in your yes, 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 yes. Let's start to drive that commitment if you are ready to start. And like I said,
I've started already.
Oh,
that's great.
Fantastic. It can be 5 minutes, it can be 10 minutes, but get started. Yes, I have one yes. Can we have more yeses?
Started already.
Started already, great. Yes. Yes, yes, I have 2. Can we have more? You need to sign up for this. Yes, that is the desired outcome. I have another one, that's number 3. So keep going. Yes, thank you. So let's do it. Let's get going with it. And once you get past that line, for me, when I don't exercise now, if something happens and day 1, day 2, I start feeling that something is wrong in this system.
Yes.
It has now become a part that I need to stop and do something. So, and that's a good place to get to. So I wanted to learn that. Are there questions? Because me, I have questions. Are there questions? Questions? Anybody?
There's a comment in this section.
Yes, Gamaliel, very enlightening session. Was going to take a bus to where I'll catch my connecting transportation this evening, but with this session, I've decided to walk.
That's good.
Many thanks, man. Hey,
That's good.
Okoyawo, thank you. Yes. Questions? Me, I have questions, but I don't want to start. Anybody with a question? Donald, you need exercise, eh? So it must not just be you saying you are starting here. I'm going to check with you. Yes. Any question? Donald, yes, say something.
Yeah, I'm really. I mean, this is very. It's been very impactful, to be honest. You know, a lot of times we keep procrastinating. I will start. You can do today, skip tomorrow, do next week, skip. But I think the thing is, we have to be consistent in all of these things.
Absolutely.
And probably get maybe an accountability partner that can actually ginger you, because the gospel truth is you need someone to ginger you, because Lagos lifestyle is it's a different ball game. So what I'm thinking about is maybe we can have a clique, or of cheerleaders, you know what I'm saying, to have people that can ginger one another. I think that would be a very good one. Yes, please.
I agree. John, let's think through that. Let's see what we can do. Should we do a different group? Should we do it on the standard group? Where for me, one of them that helped me when I was starting was seeing clips or videos of exercise in the morning helps me. It just reminds me that you have to move your body this morning before you get started. Some days I can't because of I had to run out, but over time, I've now built that rhythm that I really enjoy. I enjoy working out. So John, let's think about that. I was actually thinking of having a different group for opt-in, but I don't like too many groups. So let's think about it before the end of this weekend and see what we are going to start. Donald, well said. Accountability partner will really help. Well, very well said. Very well said. Questions. Anybody questions? So I have a question, Ma. Is lying down the same as sitting down? Does it make any difference?
Lying down and sitting down.
Yes.
The two are different, but both are sedentary or low activity.
Okay.
Lying down is required when you need relaxation. And what happens is that when you lie down, your heart is flat on the floor at the same level with your feet.
Yes.
Most of the time when we sit down, there is a pulling of fluid to the leg.
Yes.
And when you sit down, when you check your hip joints, there is a folding for a long time.
Yes.
Which affects the back and that particular joint. There will be a shunting of the muscles in the frontal part of the hip joint, and the back and the gluteus muscles, that is the buttocks, are overstretched.
Yes.
Leading long hours of sitting leads to low back, and the heart is raised.
Yes.
So which makes it difficult for blood flow.
Okay.
So if you check the pulse rate, that of the one lying down will be low, and the person sitting down, it will be higher.
High. Okay.
So also when you are standing, it will be higher.
High. Okay.
Higher. So there is difference, but sitting and lying down, they are both sedentary activity.
Okay.
But
so the part,
but
so
lying down
asking,
also is a relaxation position. Yes.
Why I'm asking this question is the world of work has changed, and a lot of people work from home. And working from home does not mean that you are sitting down.
No.
Working from home many times can be that you are lying down, half propped or something, and just doing stuff, work, while you are half lying down, half sitting down. So what I'm trying to draw out is the fact that even though you are lying down, it is still the requirement of movement are still not being met. So it doesn't matter whether it is lying or it is sitting, you still have to find the way to move and stretch and pump up the heart so that requirement of physical activity is fulfilled. I hope that is correct, ma'am.
Yes, you are correct. You are correct. Though at times when we overstress, we can lie down, breathe in deeply and out, and just close our eyes. It's a form of relaxation. Very, very good. When you are overstressed, you are overused. For example, you are coming from work. Before doing anything, you empty your mind. You empty it of any thinking and just relax there for some minutes. It relieves the muscles from the tensions. It relieves your brain from the stress of the day, but not just sleeping. And even in that lying position, do you know there are so many exercises that could be done? Right. Like when you are talking of strategies, people can start from their bed. Like when you wake up, you can stretch on your bed. Stretch towards right on the bed, towards left on the bed. You stretch, you stretch. You stretch that way on your bed. You lift your legs. You can do this with your legs on the bed. You can fold the legs and just turn it this way on the bed. You can sleep lying down and just do like you are trying to do lizard knot on your bed. And you can count 10, you count like that. By the time you do that on your bed, you will want to get up. Do you know on your bed, you can do jogging on the spot on your bed? By mere doing that, if you're a Christian, do you know you can be singing on your bed? Just singing, it can motivate you to exercise. And religious people don't have an excuse. They should move down and clap and dance. These are some of the things they can do to exercise.
And this, what you said also reminds me of something. Even our office is a good spot to exercise. And the benefit of trying to exercise in the office is multiple. Number one, it helps your eyes because for that period, your eyes is off the screen.
Yes.
Number two, it helps your thinking because after a while, psychology believes that there are only so many right decisions you can take every day. So when you step out of that, it's like you are resetting your brain. And something as simple as squatting and standing, or putting your hand on your table and then lifting it, coming out. Find creative ways. Find creative ways. If you have the privacy, you can do push-ups in your office.
Yes.
Nobody will know. In 5 minutes, you are done. So it's about, and that's what the Prof has been talking about. It's about the mindset. People talk about food is expensive. Food is expensive, but we are still buying junk that is more expensive than the healthy food.
Yes.
So it's about where your mind is. If you are determined to find that balance, you will shock that it's actually nearer to you than you think. So if there's anything I would like you to take away from this session, is that shift of your mind to say, have I moved today? Have I exercised today? Have I been active today? And finding creative ways to do it while you are waiting for the bus. For me, when I used to work part of this mindset is that as a rule, unless I'm not familiar with the building, I don't take the lift. If I'm familiar with the building, I take the staircase. These are my own shortcuts to exercise. It does not matter how many floors. I've done 14, I've done 15, I've done 16. Once I know the building well, I don't go lift. I take the staircase up, I take the staircase down. So once you have this mindset, you'll be shocked as to how many opportunities exist. Some people,
in the office,
your driver will pass your building to then go to a car park to go and drop you. You can actually stop a distance to the office and then walk the remaining path.
Yes.
Okay?
Even to the mall.
Yes, ma'am. So find
even to the mall.
ways. Go. Sorry, continue, ma. You were going to say something.
I say even to the mall. You park
Yes.
in a distance and about 5 minutes walk to the mall.
Don't always be looking for the car park that is nearest to the door. Be intentional to look for a car park that is far away and do the walk. Once we have this mindset, we will be shocked as to how many opportunities exist.
Yes.
My staircase is one of my tools for exercise.
Tools for exercise.
Run up, run down, run up, run down, run up, run down, run up, run down, run up. By the time you can do it 5, 6, 7 times, you begin to catch your breath. And so there are many things you can do. Please, people, in this unwell economy, there is one thing we must do. We must all fight for our wellness.
Yes.
If we are not well, we can't weather the storm. If we are not well, we cannot even enjoy whatever we have. We have to be intentional about it. Yes. And as we put our effort at it, you will see the benefit. This is something that is empirical. You will not need anybody to. Even you will feel it in your body that you are more alive and you feel better. Okay. So, yes, ma'am.
I want to say, develop the ability. And when you hear ability of wellness, that's fitness. No fitness, no exercise, no fitness, no movement, no fitness. Fitness is your ability to take care of the daily activities, your work, your recreational, your challenges, taking care of your children, and still having reserve for emergencies. And that is when you can say you are well. Where you hear sad news or a particular news and you are rushing to toilet, it is because you are physically unfit. You don't have the ability. Where you hear news and you are shocked, it's because your system is weak. Develop the ability through the process of wellness. How? Become aware of your body, your environment, what you do, your well-being. What do you want? What is your purpose in life? When you know that, then what health goals have you set? That is when you can now develop healthy habits that becomes your lifestyle behavior. When you engage in movement anywhere, you become fit. Develop your fitness. And I give you this motto: movement is life. Life is movement. Therefore,
thank you very much, ma. Thank you very much, ma. Thank you very, very much. Any final thing from anybody? Any final thing from anybody? It's been a very physical and exercising session today. Yes, somebody was even saying, are we not going to meet somewhere? And I said, don't worry, maybe we are going to get to that now.
We can do that any day. Yes, we dress up and we do exercise.
Yes, yes.
It's possible.
Any final thing from anybody? Any final thing from anybody? All right. So in the absence of anything, I just want to tell the Prof, thank you very much, ma, for making out this time. I've enjoyed myself. And thank you, everybody, for being here. There is a quick poll. Takes less than a minute, John. Please, you want to share that poll. So, and if you are not yet part of our Telegram community, John will share that link on the chat box as well. Just click on it, join it. My mind tells me that that will be the first leg of our driving ourselves towards physical exercise. So you don't want to miss out on that. We're going to be doing morning and evening reminder and just sharing stuff that will move us to move. And hopefully we will be circling back shortly to find out how that is going. And I would also like to now remind you that we'll be ending this series next month, and we'll be focusing on financial wellness. That's something you don't want to move. You don't want to miss. We'll be focusing on how you can make more money and how you can make the one you have go further, how you can increase the mileage, how you can increase the distance. and how we can also have the right mentality about money so that we can be better equipped for what is before us and what is ahead of us. So on that note, I would like to please request that you please complete this survey. And then thank you very much for being here. Prof, thank you again.
You're welcome.
And we will stay in touch with you, and we hope that we will, when we need you next time, you'll be glad to come up.
Thank you very much for calling and being part of this program. The opportunity.
Thank you very much, man. So everybody, enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you very much. And don't forget to move. If you're an evening person, it's a good time. Find something comfortable and do 10 minutes. Don't wait till tomorrow. Let it start now, and we'll catch up offline. Thank you, and have a very productive weekend. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.